If you mention the name Pepsi and the number 349 to anyone who was alive or came of age in the early 1990s in the Philippines, they will almost certainly know what you're referring to. The largest marketing disaster in the world's history occurred approximately 30 years ago, and it was all thanks to those 3 numbers and bottles of Pepsi. But what led to the notoriety of 3 simple numbers? Let's explore how one promotion by Pepsi led to unimaginable damage. Welcome back to Facts Fanatics. We are dedicated to bringing you the most shocking and downright unbelievable real-life incidents that stunned the world. Today, we're going to discuss the infamous Pepsi riots and how Pepsi's famous marketing campaign led to multiple riots and even death, proving that in business, a simple decision can have massive and lasting consequences. Let's get into it. The story of Pepsi 349 began in 1984, when the beverage behemoth launched a commercial push to increase market share against its fiercest rival, Coca-Cola. Coke was miles ahead of Pepsi in the so-called soft drink wars at the time, after the latter had controlled the market in the late 1970s. So, Pepsi had to fight back and win territory. At the time, Christopher Sinclair, the then CEO of Pepsi, crafted a new and unique marketing campaign called Number Fever to get more people excited to buy more Pepsi. Following a relatively successful launch in the United States, Number Fever was expanded to a few other countries in Latin America. Years later, in 1992, Pepsi Cola Products Philippines, or PCPPI, Pepsi's local franchise holder, formally applied to the Department of Trade and Industry for a permit to run the nationwide Number Fever campaign in the Philippines. The promotion was pretty straightforward. Purchasers of Pepsi Cola products, Pepsi, 7-Up, Mirinda, and Mountain Dew could take home the sum displayed beneath the bottle caps or crowns if the accompanying 3-digit number matched the one announced by Pepsi as the winner for that day. The sums ranged from 100 pesos to 1 million. It was similar to a mini lottery, but with significantly higher odds of winning, 28.8 million to 1, according to published advertisements at the time. On January the 23rd, the Philippine government approved Pepsi's application, and Number Fever began shortly after that. The winning numbers were pre-selected at random and were then forwarded to PCPPI. The Philippine government then oversaw the production of the winning numbers and their subsequent market release. As expected, the strategy was an instant success. Almost immediately after the campaign began in February 1992, people began purchasing Pepsi products, saving the caps and crowns, and then watching the nightly newscast for the announcement of the winning numbers. Just like the lottery. Pepsi's monthly sales went from $10 million to $14 million, and its market share increased from 19.4% to 24.9% during the promotion. By the time the promotion's regular run ended on May the 8th, 51,000 consumers had won the minimum reward of 100 pesos, while 17 lucky customers had each won the grand prize of 1 million pesos. According to Pepsi, half of the country's 65 million people were aware of and participated in the campaign at some point in time. It was enough for Pepsi's main competitor Coke to be worried. If Pepsi had left its promotion at that point in time, it would have all been okay. But Pepsi didn't leave well enough alone and wanted more. If they could be this successful with this promotion, Pepsi decided to extend the promotion one more time. This is where Pepsi went wrong. A second list of randomly selected winning numbers was created. No one knew that the fever would not last forever, and things were about to take an ugly turn soon. On the evening of May the 25th, 1992, the winning number was announced as 349. Usually, just a few customers would show up to claim their gift. But this time, tens of thousands of people came forward, each holding a cap or crown bearing the number 349. In total, Pepsi had inadvertently and erroneously produced 600,000 to 800,000 caps and crowns containing the winning number. If Pepsi had paid all of the people who had the winning number, the company would have had to pay up to $32 billion. As a result, following an emergency meeting at 3 a.m., Pepsi executives stated that there had been a computer error in the printing of the winning numbers. They tried to figure out a way out of this mess. In fact, Pepsi originally attempted to change the winning number to 134, which was the number that newspapers reported the following day. However, on May the 28th, following a thorough examination of the procedure, Pepsi decided that 349 would remain the winning number, but that only crowns or caps with matching security codes would be recognized. The corporation published a list of cash awards ranging from 100 pesos to 50,000 pesos with unique security codes, and stated that the cash prizes would not be paid to the 349 claimants whose codes did not match those on the official list. Nevertheless, Pepsi said that it would give other claimants holding the number 349 500 pesos as a goodwill gesture. According to its calculations, Pepsi's expenditures would be limited to around $6 million if roughly half of the claimants accepted the 500 pesos offer. They were wrong in their calculations. Many of the claimants accepted the offer. In fact, a staggering 486,170 in total. According to reports, Pepsi paid out nearly 240 million pesos, or over $9 million. However, there was still a large number of people who demanded the full amount of the prize. Riots broke out outside the Pepsi plant gates in Quezon City. Irate claimants hurled rocks and homemade bombs at corporate offices, and delivery trucks were smashed, overturned, and even torched. A terrible occurrence, a homemade grenade bomb bounced off a truck and exploded near Aniceta Rosario, a schoolteacher, and a 5-year-old girl. The explosion killed them both and injured many more. The fighting raged on for months. In all, 5 people were killed in the riots. It didn't take long for the Pepsi 349 claimants to band together and form groups with names like Coalition 349, United 349, Solid 349, and many more. Coalition 349, however, was led by a man named Vicente Del Fierro Jr. He had initially sneered at the promotional campaign, calling it a social disease that nurtures the gambling instinct of our children. However, once his daughter claimed to be the owner of one of the caps with the number 349, he became a vocal supporter of the push to have Pepsi pay. To that end, over 22,000 people filed 687 civil claims and over 5,200 criminal complaints against Pepsi. Del Fierro even hired an American lawyer and unsuccessfully filed a lawsuit in New York against the corporation. In one of the cases, a group named Ugnayan 349 filed a demand letter to Pepsi in a Philippine court. 4 years later, in 1996, the court issued a decision stating that the plaintiffs were not entitled to their winnings. However, the court also ordered Pepsi to pay each claimant 10,000 pesos in moral damages. Both Pepsi and the plaintiffs filed appeals and brought the matter to the Supreme Court, which finally ruled in 2006, 14 years after the promotion, that Pepsi was not liable to pay the amounts printed or the damages caused. The actual proceedings regarding the Pepsi 349 incident may have slowly faded into the fog of history, but the tale lives on for those who lived through it. So now you know how bottles of soda and a marketing campaign led to massive riots and deaths. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please help us continue providing similar stories by liking and subscribing to our channel. Until next time.